Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of 10 Minute Tuesday. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. I got my guy Brendon Roy on here. Met my guy at TC last year. What's going on, bro?
It's going good, man. It's going good. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Good to see you too, man. Good to see you too. Awesome. We've done a number of these, man, so let's go ahead and hop into it. Brendon, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Brendon Roy. I am from Virginia, Northern Virginia. I know a lot of people say from Virginia. There's definitely a North Virginia. I'm from Northern Virginia, a little bit outside of Washington, D.C. Grew up here all my life and currently working in the legal space, so in the legal world for a big corporate law firm downtown D.C. So, yeah.
Awesome. So North Virginia, make sure y'all heard them. Make sure y'all specify, what part of Virginia you're from. But working for a law firm right now, but at some point you had to get your start. So what really compelled you to get into data to begin with?
Oh man, long story. How much time do you got? So when I was in school, I'm not gonna age myself, but I'm up there a little bit. But when I was in school, I always wanted to be a teacher. So I played football in school. So the goal was, okay, if I can't do the football thing, love working with kids, I want to teach. My uncle, who was a long-time Air Force veteran who was in, computer science, always in my ear, trying to get me to that field, basically showing me that's where the money was. So I was like, I want to teach, and I know that comes with, but, I'm trying to, young out of college, I want some things. So I decided to switch my major. I majored in CIS, Computer Information Systems. And this is about the time where big e-commerce was booming. So a lot of our curriculum and programs was involved in heavy SQL writing, data management, and that never dealt with that before I got to school. It was awesome to me. I'm a very exploratory, like to ask a lot of questions, like to dig a little bit, and I felt that SQL work was essentially like detective work. How can I write this code or write this script to help me find what I need to get whatever solution or answer? So that part kind of stuck with me. I love doing the work. I didn't like coding so much. I had to be, turned on to coding. My attention span isn't that great. So. But once I got with some awesome people that really sat me down and helped me out with a lot of projects we were doing, I really knew this is an awesome opportunity. I love the work. It's kind of still new in that space. And I can remember it was our end of the year, big graduation project. And mine was setting up I'm sneakerhead, so setting up a sneaker online web store. Oh man, I was doing everything, getting all pictures and all that process. This is really cool. I can see myself doing that. So, long story short, that's basically how I got into the data. And after that, different position. But I've always kind of been in that SQL development type space.
Love that. So really you started out as a transition, right? It's going to be this teacher, but then there's really, some money. Day, right? Yeah.
I've done all kind of work with kids before and work with camps, and I love that aspect. But got that time in my head. Hey, it's the real world. You're gonna have bills to pay once you get out here.
Yeah.
So I gave that some thought, but yeah, I'm glad I went that route. I wouldn't go back.
Awesome.
And there's opportunities down the road for teaching, and I've done some technology camps and stuff. So that aspect will always be there.
Yeah, it's definitely ways to always get back in that regard for sure. All right. So what has been your least favorite job to date, and why was it your least favorite job?
Least favorite job. I'm going to be real. It was Little Caesars when I was 16 years old, but
yeah.
I know that's another.
I want to hear it. Give us why was the most. I hear about 16 Little Caesars. What was going on there?
It wasn't rough. It was actually awesome for a 16-year-old. The Little Caesars maybe 2 miles down the road. I'd ride my bike to work. I worked with two 21-year-old managers that were the sons of the owners. They didn't do anything. Sat in the back, smoking cigarettes and calling people on the phone. So I basically had to run the shop, which was a lot. This was my first job. Phones, making pizza, prepping, dishes, basically literally everything. The awesome thing was I got 2 free pizzas every day. So
nice.
That experience it just sucked because I knew I was being taken advantage of. It happens. It's life.
Yeah.
But but yeah, that's the easy answer. I would say, career related. I had a really bad experience, and I don't regret it. Sometimes I think sometimes you have to go out on. I was in a really, solid position. This is where I got into the legal world, and I got the opportunity to work for a new budding law firm. Um, Brand new partners just set it up. I would have been like kind of the independent kind of go to for setting up an application they use to capture all the legal data, um, billing, billing stuff. The legal world a huge aspect is billable hours. That's kind of the main thing. There's certain specific software to handle that. I was brought on. I'm kind of lead this project. Build it from the ground up. Awesome opportunity. Working remotely, more money. Beautiful opportunity. My wife got pregnant with our third daughter. I thought that transition would be really, a good time to kind of move to something else. And to find out maybe like 10 months later, stuff wasn't going so great. I basically got let go because I wasn't a billable entity. So that process kind of sucked. You kind of build up the expectation, and kind of reality sets in, kind of start from scratch. So I won't say it's a failure. I'm thinking about being a failure, bad experience. It just taught me a lot of that's how careers go, and that's how the world works. And you got to be able to stand back up on your feet, find what you want to do, utilize your resources, and move forward. So I'm appreciative for that opportunity. But yeah, it doesn't rank too high on my scale.
Yeah. Yeah, that never feels good, especially like knowing you're being taken advantage of, like at Little Caesars, like knowing like I'm doing all this work and I'm 16, right? Like knowing that doesn't feel good. But then really like the expectation of, you're gonna come in, make change, make an impact, and then because of their own instances where they can't do what they need to do, they have to just offload resources. It doesn't mean that's like not value add, but it always doesn't feel good. I feel like we all remember that experience, all right? And the concept is called fail forward, right? No one ever really fails, but it's like, what did you take from that, and how do you leverage that going forward?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, what is one piece of advice you give someone who's just starting out in your career?
Piece of advice: always ask questions. Um, Always ask questions. I think sometimes as you're starting to learn, obviously you got to ask questions if you don't know. But even once you get to a point of not mastering a skill or feeling like you're at a certain level, where kind of your pride sets in, thinking, "Oh, I should know this. I can figure this out by myself." Always, don't be afraid to ask questions. There's nothing wrong with double checking. There's nothing wrong with validation. Um, Ask a lot of questions. I think that has helped me propel myself in my career. Because with those questions, and specifically the people that you reach out to, that's how you build relationships. So if you're always, able to foster that kind of attitude of constant learning and always wanting to learn more and gain more experience by asking questions and put yourself out there in a vertical position. Hey, I don't know this. I don't know the answer. Help me out. Usually that doesn't go bad. In my experience, if you ask, what goes bad is if you don't ask. If you assume, you don't ask, you can get to the wrong result. Hours and hours to fix that work. So definitely, I think I still stand on that, still believe in that song. Definitely ask and validate. Even if you're thinking you shouldn't, you should.
Yeah, definitely. So kind of a follow-up piggyback to that. At what point do you think you became comfortable with raising your hand and being like, I don't know, like I need help? Because I think there's a theme here when I talk to like several people is like early on in our career, like I'm supposed to know this, I'm supposed to know it. But there's a certain point where we get over that mental barrier and we're like, I don't know this. Like, help me, please. So, like for you, when did you think you got that kind of clarity of being able to ask for help?
I think at the point where I've been really, really fortunate in my position where I've worked with some amazing people. Like I think I've met some of the brightest, biggest, most influential, like smart brains. Just like how do you do that? Like you can read all you want to, but some people just have that smart oozing out, and I don't necessarily have that. attribute, but I think I know how to reach out and ask. But I used to work, actually, my first legal position. Um, a young guy on the team, Chuck King, amazing guy. He was just so super bright and so super intuitive, and was looking to help. Sometimes you got to get a vibe where, you're working with some folks who you don't want to annoy people. Like, oh, you make as much as I do. I shouldn't have to tell you this. Attitudes like that. I've been fortunate where I haven't really been in a situation like that. So getting kind of the confidence boost from your peers that you work with, and like I said, submitting validation and asking questions, getting confidence from getting that helps boost your confidence and feeling like, okay, I think I know this. I think I can do this. Definitely not, you don't know everything at once. So once I got comfortable, and that position was a really good step stool to my career, because one, it was in the legal world, and two, heavy involving data and SQL development and query writing and reporting. So all those aspects was stuff I kind of knew, but didn't have the skin in the game to on that experience in it. So, but yeah, being able to ask questions, and I've always thought this. I feel comfortable in a situation where at least I know I'm not, it's like a piece of code, like a code you're writing. Like you get an error message when you execute a query. If you at least know, you don't necessarily have to know what that error message is saying, but you have to be able to comprehend the questions to ask to get you to that. So I think once I feel that I'm at that point, okay, I might not know the exact answer, but I can come up with a question that I know is going to get me. So at that point, I think, long story short, working with some amazing people who made me feel really comfortable about, not being afraid to seek validation, that, has helped me be more comfortable knowing that you don't have to know it all. So, yeah.
Awesome, man. That's really great. Really impactful too that you had like nice people and stuff, because there are some not nice people out here in the industry.
I've had those.
Y'all go over there. All right, Brendon, where can listeners find you at online?
Oh man, I'm not the heaviest social guy. I watch football and basketball and like posts, but definitely LinkedIn. I definitely appreciate my LinkedIn community. I'm on LinkedIn, Brendon Roy. He's super easy to find. DEN. A lot of people ask me how to spell my name. It's not Brandon. It's Brendon.
Oh, did I spell it wrong?
No, you didn't. I'm just
okay.
Lifelong of two first names.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm definitely you can find me on LinkedIn for sure.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you taking time out today, man. This was awesome. Oh, I know, Super Bowl pick, because when this comes out, this will be after Super Bowl, so I'm gonna get it on wax. Who you got winning the Super Bowl?
Oh man, so I'm a Raiders fan, diehard Raiders fan. I kind of had to change my Zoom computer location because I got a super fan Raiders wall back there. I keep that on the low, but saying that, I hate the Chiefs. I would never root for the Kansas City Chiefs. Got to go 49ers.
All right. Y'all heard it here. First Super Bowl prediction on 10 Minute Tuesday from Brendon. So we'll see if it comes into fruition.
I'll give you a score. 35-17, 49ers.
Okay. All right. Book it. 35-17. Let's get it. Awesome, man. Well, appreciate you so much, man, for joining 10 Minute Tuesday. Really appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, boss. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Always. All right. And if you haven't already, like I said in the beginning, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll talk to y'all next week. Have a great day.